Father's Day we spent together. Oh, fire, you're giving up. Times the spark has struck. We can't kiss goodbye to this wondrous stunning nights. All the laughter we will never have. All the sunset we won't catch. I stay a little more, I can't look away from those brown eyes. And if we settle down, we don't have to settle down. Please don't be afraid of all the things that could go wrong. We can take our time and we may change our mind. But I can tell a good thing when a good thing comes along. Darling, tell me all about the dreams you had last night. You can be so restless in your sleep. I ain't going nowhere, all this feels so very right. Good luck, it's the morning. Settle down, we don't have to settle down. Please don't be afraid of all the things that go wrong. We can take our time, we may change our mind. I can tell a good thing comes along. If I ever hurt you, dear, heaven knows I'm no perfect man. I can't take another night without you by my side. Please come home as quickly as you can. And if we settle down, we don't have to settle down. Please don't be afraid of all the things that could go wrong. We can take our time, we may change our mind. I can tell a good thing comes along.